Hi gang, it's Taul, questing Taul, putting Pandora back in the box. A difficult job. What I'm trying to do here for my boys, and now I'm going to deal with my 9-year-old self and that year. Because that's the batshit crazy year at its best. We've settled into a pattern, and the only time I ever had to worry was whether there was a heavy drunk on Saturday night. So Don and Benny would have wonderful parties, and I'd sit on the step and listen to the stories. So at 9 years old, I've got lots of learning in me. I've dealt with Ms. Somerville and getting myself into Audrey Reed's 4 or 5 class. And now I've got so much knowledge in me, I can just sit and listen to the adults. So the winter that I'm 9, I am just so filled up with truths and lies and this story and that story. And out of those parties with wonderful people, I can mention their names. There's wonderful families down the East Beach that all I don't know, but the Hilliers from uptown were Red and Loyola, and then Jack and Shirley Smith, and then there was the Chesters, he drove taxis, and of course there was Gordon Major, he was a cop, police officer, High Penny, and then everybody else on the east side would have seen what was happening with Donnie and I, and now at 9 years of age, I've settled into a comfortable pattern. My trick was simply to run away and not be there for Mass service whenever Don was available to go to Mass, and only the battles over Mass were a problem. Okay? So, Donnie and I have now drifted quite a ways apart. And at 9 years, that fall was kind of fun for us, but he would take stuff, and that made it always difficult. And from shanties and from cottages, and wherever he could, he'd take stuff. There's Donnie. So the winter becomes like full up with information, because everybody that's in Mom and Dad's house on a Friday night, drunk. Everybody went to work on Saturday, so I'd be out in the winter, I'd be out on the ponds from daybreak to sunset, and then beyond if there was a full moon with the Butler boys and the Brown boys and the kids from the west side. So 9 years was a ball, except for that period of time when I had to deal with the drunken people on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, okay? And that was the Battle of the Mass. So I don't know whether telling you anything about Father Milan will explain anything, but I worked my way around to have an agreement with Mom that I would attend school, and winters you go anyway. So Audrey Reed and I worked on my math, and I was there every time dear old Ross Betiak came for music. On grade 3, I'd go all the time. Grade 4 with Audrey, I would be there. I knew he was coming, the kids would tell me. Now, the thing is, my winter pattern was easy for me. It was cold as heck, and I had to sleep upstairs because Don had done part of a renovation. So we slept upstairs underneath a pile of blankets on a mattress. So that's that winter. And in the spring, I'm now a regular attendee at school, Mrs. Reed, and that works out fine. But just before summer starts, we're up at the Fort area, which is a big field there, about 3 acres or so behind Lyle's, and we had forts in there. And I ran up onto an old garbage bin, and somebody threw a spaghetti can with an open lid, and it severed my foot. And I had enough sense to put a tourniquet right around here and squeeze it like crazy with a piece of wire, and then got rescued. And that was my first tainted saint. Dr. Alan B. Sylvester saved my foot and my life. The punishment was significant because I had the whole summer where I could not play. And that was horrible for this body. But the foot, which is in the video, you can see it there, severed. And Dr. Sylvester told my mother, put the iodine in it, and if you see any sign of infection, rip the scab off and keep it off, throw sulfa drugs in and put a heat lamp on it. So that was my whole summer. Hugs to all. This is Taul.